From now on, I've decided to make 3D models of my projects, and this time I'm going to be using Tinkercad, which is a fully online program. Part of the reason I'm using it is that as my day job, I work as a web developer, so I was just kind of fascinated to see how a fully online program would actually work for something as complex as 3D modeling. Here's the design I came up with. Basically consists of 4 parts. You have 3 horizontal members and 1 vertical member. The horizontal members are made out of standard 3/4 inch boards. The vertical member is made out of 2x4s. The pieces are connected together with a lap joint, which is basically a dado cut into the vertical piece to accept the horizontal pieces. The lap joint has the advantage of being an extremely strong joint, and that's exactly what I want for this application. The horizontal pieces have a slight upward angle going from the wall side to the end. My reason for this was that I don't want there to be any chance of wood falling off the rack. If anything, I want it to be sliding towards the wall side. My first step in actually building the rack was making the horizontal supports. As it happened, with that big pile of lumber I had a whole bunch of boards that were 3 inches wide, and that was part of my reasoning for making the horizontal members 3 inches wide, because I can use up a whole bunch of that wood. With the pieces roughly cut to size, I can now put an angle on them with the tapering jig. I put up another video where I show actually making the tapering jig, so I won't go into that here, but I will tell you that the jig does work really well, and it makes it very safe and easy to make these tapers. It makes them the same every single time, so it's good for repetitive work like this. Cutting the dados in the vertical pieces was pretty time consuming, but also fairly satisfying work. There is something enjoyable about gradually nibbling away at this wood to make this nice big clean dado. My table saw is pretty underpowered, so I can only remove about a 1/4 inch at a time. This means that for a 3 inch wide dado it takes me at least 12 passes. Next I drilled some holes for the lag bolts that are going to attach the lumber rack to the wall. I found the perfect thing for spreading out glue. It's this little red spatula that was my daughter's, which she never played with, so I figured, what's the harm in taking it? She's never going to miss it. It's made out of silicone, so it's very easy to clean up, and it works really great for getting the glue in their little corners and whatnot. One nice thing about using a lap joint is that they're extremely easy to glue up. Basically all you need to do is apply some glue, press the pieces together, and put a couple clamps across the joint. To install the lumber rack, I first made a chalk line down the wall that I made sure was level, and then I made a mark every 16 inches along that chalk line, lining up with the studs. I then drilled pilot holes for just the bottom lag screw. All I needed to do was get the pieces up on the wall and supported there. Then I could use the level to make sure that they were all vertical and put the other lag screws into the wall. I used a newer kind of lag bolt called power lags. The advantage of these is that you don't have to drill a pilot hole. So I think for people in the construction industry, it could definitely be worth it, because for them, time definitely is money. For the person who's working at home, you just gotta decide where you want to spend your money and where you want to spend your time. In my case, I decided to buy these because I was not really investing very much money in anything else in this project, so I figured, I could spring a little bit extra and save myself some time at the end. This ended up being a really satisfying project to work on, and I enjoy getting to see it every single time I go out into the garage. I get to see how nice the rack looks, and I also get to see all the space that I'm saving by putting the lumber up onto the wall. If you'd like to see the 3D model for this, I've got a link to it for Patreon members. Patreon members also get early access to videos and some other benefits, so check that out if you're interested. Click that subscribe button, and thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time. Take care.